Hi everyone, welcome back to the Trader's Gap. If you are new here, I'm documenting my trading journey by reviewing last week price action and comparing it with my backtesting results. So I like to find the gap between live performance and the actual hindsight perspective. Because when we are objective and not in the live market, there won't be much emotions involved, as in if we compare with the live market. So this is the main reason where I find that gap where I can improve on when being objective and when being emotional during the live market. So no trades this week, but a lot to reflect on. Hope this helps anyone who is trading or learning like me and using these smart money concepts. So also appreciate the feedback on the previous videos, and I'm still improving the content step by step. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and let's go with the last week price action. So this is the daily. If we look at zoom out on the daily time frame, also we can see the weekly, just like that, right? We can see this is the move to the downside, this is the pullback, and this is the recent breakup structure. After that, after the breakup structure, we had a pullback like that. With this kind of impulsive nature, it can actually follow through, but I'm expecting some kind of reaction from these key levels even after this applies, or after sweeping this kind of external range liquidities, and probably a deeper pullback will come kick in. But for now, I'm focusing on this recent price action. Recently got the breakup structure. I'm expecting the pullback into this one of these demands and then roll over to the downside. So I'm using 4-hour, 1 hour as my main guide for me to capture this higher low from the daily. So anyway, let's go on the 4-hour time frame now. That was the daily. If I map my breakup structure, it's going to be like that. And from the daily, we understand that this is the demand that's only fresh in this whole leg. So this is the area where we can expect for price to reverse from and run these highs. From the 4-hour perspective, like always, yeah, we know that we are in this daily demand, so we already pulled back into the discount after the breakup structure. The highs were formed very poorly, it's very corrective. So normally it's like an impulsive move followed by the correction and then impulsive move, because now we have perfect equal highs to target. If it was forming, let's say, like this, then it would be I would expect probably a deeper pullback, but it was not formed like that at all, not by forming that strong liquidation, but it was quite corrective, and often we see another impulsive move after we took out all these liquidities. Anyway, from that's on the 4-hour. Main expectation is to look for longs if we have proper development on like POI form to sweep and everything, and try to capture these high lows. If we some reason we see supply hold, then yeah, I will expect I'll trade sales as well with the expectation of the order flow, because currently clearly 4-hour order flow is bearish, and we can expect this move as well. If not, if we see the reaction and then if reactions kind of fail, then we can anticipate early that this may be the initial of the move for this higher leg. So let's see how 1 hour develops. That's the 4-hour and that's the 1 hour now. So 1 hour, it's pretty much bullish, followed by impulsive correction, not impulsive but corrective pullback. And if we see here, that's the internal breakup structure, right? And that's the internal breakup structure. Yes, internal is bearish, but since we reach a good area of value, we can expect for price to reach like that and then to run the highs, week high, because this is the week high. So after that, what we got the 1 hour change of character here. So this is 1 hour change of character, and that's the demand it's respecting from the 1 hour, right? And now we have another demand, which is this one, which was formed through sweep of liquidity, which is really nice. It's a very good confluence. And also if we look, this is a flip as well, because it has reacted here, has not led to any breakup structure, so reacted, and it kind of moved to the upside. That means we have a flip as well. It's swept liquidity, it's part of the chain, and coming from the discount, objective is to run the high, so looking for longs from here makes a lot of sense. This is London session now, right? Okay, so this is my M15. M15 is my only the execution time frame. I only go to M15 once we see the mitigation of the 1 hour that I'm interested in. So let's see. Now the way we reached into the POI with this kind of impulsive nature, yes, this is bullish, but we are just playing within this leg, right? Because the internally this is still protected. This is the weak high, this is the strong because it led to the breakup structure. And now after we got a pull back like that here, with this impulsive nature, I'm not that aggressive now, and not use the aggressive entry model, but I want to be a little bit conservative and I want to see that price forming that kind of floor and then probably go long like that here on the M15. So that's why I'm not that aggressive. My aggressive entry would be, I don't know if we get mitigation. Yeah, so my aggressive entry would be here at this point, but since price action was not the best and it was coming impulsively right here, so then I'm not really interested. If it was pulling back like that and if we had lows, lots of buy sell liquidity to target, then it would be different to trade against that. But now we're coming like that impulsive nature with this being the internal leg. Probably now we're going to see like that move, right? Anyway, I will be using a conservative entry model. So now I want to see a low that break a high and then the low that get liquidated and then the buy stop order from here. So let's see how it goes. We never broke the highs, so order flow remained bearish, and at this point we broke the highs, so this low broke this high, right? M15 shock, that's an M15 liquidation candle, LQ M15. Now I'm expecting for price to go this one and then give me an entry model. So let's see. We push down. I think we did not. No, we did not break. See, we did not break, and I'm waiting for that to go. It went, and yeah, it went, and at that point I will be placing my buy stop order off of these highs, but it never triggered, and at this point the POI failed, so I'm no longer interested after my point of POI is failed. So no trade for me. Saved a loss because I was aware of this as well, because we're coming pretty much impulsively as well. It was not very corrective, and this was just a pullback to mitigate some of these extreme POIs and then roll over. So, and also after this mitigation here, we tried to push up one time, two times. So by the time it came here, it became less likely to make another push like higher. Why? Because the orders had been already observed with this kind of move, so most likely it's gonna create another leg higher. That's why this demand has been weak already. So now everything is mitigated. This one now playing sells with expectation to run this weak high within this internal leg is high probability. Why? Because this low did not break and close above, so this is weak and the internal structure has shifted bearish, so my expectation is to run this highs, run this low, sorry. Anyway, now this is our third session. It was New York Lul. I don't trade New York Lul as well. Anyway, so playing sells from this one do a lot of sense, make a lot of sense now. Yeah, it did mitigate it, but this was outside session, so I would not be interested to trade from. Anyway, now with this small internal breakup structure, now main expectation is to run this low, because we're playing with this leg, we're pulling back. Now internal high shifted bearish aligned with this larger internal. Now this is weak, so main primary expectation is to just roll over probably after that we see another leg. But until now our main target is drawn liquidity is this low. Okay, let's go to the next day on Tuesday. All right, that's the targeted. Let's see, liquidity 1 hour. So that's the main drawn liquidity at the moment. Let's see, wait for the London session to open. Okay, that's Frankfurt now. Yep, so now this is London. Price action is not going anywhere at all, and it's not the best at all, because I was kind of hoping for price to roll over from here. It did not. Now we don't have any clear supply. This was mitigated. Yes, you could arguably say that this is fresh, but if we take the range, it was slightly mitigated as well. And if you take this bullish candle, it was mitigated. So yeah, okay, we still have the supply. If we get that confirmation from this supply like that, then probably I'll consider sell from here to target this. All sells are liquidities below. Okay, we do not have anything yet. All right, so after that, we don't have to reach this one, right? We're playing within this leg, right? We're playing within this leg. The large internal is this one. What did we have? Internal switched bearish. This is weak. We switched bullish, but now with this momentum and with all these sales are liquidities below, sales makes lots of sense now to run this low. And yeah, there's not much going on here, so I want to see pop up and then go like that. So I'm interested in this POI, and this POI was actually formed through sweep of liquidity. I don't know if we swept this one, but yeah, we swept the liquidity. It's really nice. This is the London volume kicking in. It's really showing move to the downside. Yeah, it's not the best condition. Why? Because we reached discount extreme of this whole leg. Expectation was to follow through, but the way lows are formed, it's not that convincing to make a higher low, because normally the higher low forms after the sweep and then kind of like that. Like normally it does not form like this. It does not form. It does not form like that. It normally takes the liquidity, and then go. Right. Okay. So I want to play the sell from here. Let's say it reacted to this demand, but that was just expected. Now even better, we have the lead. I would prefer it to come immediately after the shift, but it did not did that. Anyway, it's still valid. Not too much discretion is not better for this strategy, right? Okay, 1 hour inducement. That's the inducement. Pure stop liquidity. Really nice, right? I'm still favoring sells. We mitigated this POI during during New York. Yep, during New York. If we go on here, so I'm taking this as my lead because this is a high probability trade for me, at least, to target the M15 low and lots of buy sell liquidities, sell side liquidities to target, right? After we got that liquidated, that's the stop order I'm gonna place. That's an inside bar to nothing. It got trigger me here, right? Target I normally use 1s to 2, but we can target this one as well. But yeah, with commission it's going to be like that. I don't trade New York in the live market. I only trade London. But anyway, this is a value trade according to my trading plan. It ran up to how long? I think it ran up to here. That's 2.19. It can be just a winning trade, I guess. Yeah, and after that it reversed. So yeah, there was one I don't know, it was a winning trade, I think, because it ran 2.19. With the commission it will be net 2R, right? So that was one winning trade from Tuesday. So now we don't have much left going on here. We already reacted the supply, not much going on. And yes, we swept this low, but also we have left the liquidities below. We don't have to take all the liquidities, right? Sometimes only this kind of sell side liquidity is enough for it to make a higher low, to make that impulsive move, because everything is mitigated here. Now I'm quite favoring buys the way it has moved like that. after taking all these special liquidities. Yes, it has not taken out this one, but it doesn't have to. Kind of swing move, everything is mitigated. Now long makes sense up to this high if we keep forming the higher lows on the 1 hour. Anyway, let's see, let's go on Wednesday now, because that's okay. On the Wednesday, that's London. Objective is to run this week high. Swing is bullish, and I really like how the 4 hour formed, because 4 hour has formed after sweeping this liquidity. See the move after sweeping the liquidity yesterday during New York. After sweeping this buy side liquidity, we have been pushing up, so there is not much going on here, and now we have liquidity target. So following the momentum for the longs do make sense, and I want to be aggressive, but also be cautious and trade from the high probability PYs. For me, this is not the best PY. This is from Asian session, and I want to see something built in this internal leg, like from this leg, for example, we are formed to sweep and then capture this, or even a little bit higher. It's fine, right? Okay, let's see, that's London. We did mitigate it here, and then we pop up. So now got the break. I'm not favoring sells. Why? Because playing sells is high probability here when we have not pulled back up to here. Now we already pulled back here. Now objective is to run the highs with this massive push up. I'm not trying to be reversal for this quick move, because once we reach kind of this EQ, our expectation is to have like this to go to run the highs. So I'm only favoring longs, and we don't have any high probability POIs yet. After that break, you could follow the order flow, right? That's the liquidity 1 hour, and that's the demand only left. This is the only demand left, because this has been mitigated already, and it has led to the fractal break. We are so near to the run the week highs, it often take out the week high before we are getting that deeper pullback now. So everything is mitigated. I'm trading against nothing, so playing aggressive long here to make a lot of sense. But this was I think, okay, this was New York, so playing longs makes sense. It mitigated here, it swept this one, right? LQM 15. This was near New York low. It's not the best time to trade, but it's a valid trade according to my trading plan. But I was not trading this pair this in the live, because I don't trade New York anyway. That would be a beautiful trade, I think. Yeah, it went up to how long? Went up to 1.43. It would be a nice trade, but I think there was CPI later. That's why the price was volatile. So anyway, there would be this trade if I was trading London, but I would be a bit conservative and probably go to break even up before this news of the CPI, right? There was one trade which was not the best, but according to it's valid according to my trading plan, because we are about to run the week highs now. Now what do we have? We pull back into this internal leg, right? Because that was the move, and now this is expected, because we have to pull back, right? And now we have lots of liquidity to target. It often vacuums the price now, but with the right confirmation we can get involved in longs. Let's go to the to Thursday. Let's go on Thursday. Let's go on Thursday now. London session. Okay, this is London session. I'm only interested in looking for longs and not looking for sells, because what it happened is we reached to the extreme of this internal leg, because this is strong. Why? Because it led to the breakup structure. I don't like this impulsive nature against me, but it's okay, like because this is expected, because if there was nothing in this leg, this is the pure form to sweep, and after that we're starting to move up, right? We have lots of liquidity transit on the buy side liquidities. On the 4 hour we are seeing further upside as well, and we just reached to the demand. Lots of buy side liquidity transit. If we get a right confirmation on the 1 hour, then playing along from here makes sense to run the week highs. right? Okay, this move is not the best from the Asian session, so I'm not bothered to trade these ones. Now we'll wait for high probability POI, that is a POI, take out some sell side liquidities and then proper shift, then I can capture the long here. This is lots of high probability because now the POI has been formed through sweep. That means the institutions is backing up, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, at this point we didn't swipe this one, but we did swipe some Asian range, right? That was the liquidation. At least we swept some liquidity, right? And this is the POI where I will be interested in looking for long. Sometimes the price action won't be picture perfect like textbook, but it's swept liquidity and we have liquidity to target. It's pretty decent for me to capitalize on the longs. And I don't think we never pulled back, right? Yeah, we didn't pull back. And see how price was very impulsive. It often will be impulsive when there is nothing for us to trade, like nothing for a pullback, because this was mitigated. I was not really concerned, even if you can see that minor pullback and then went. After that, like everything is mitigated. There is no any value zones for a deeper pullback. Now we may expect a pretty pullback after we took out this liquidity. So yeah, interesting price action. Unfortunately, we didn't pull back. It is what it is. That's 1 hour breakup structure. Now we are playing within a new range. That's the 1 hour swing strong. This is the POI. Probably it has to break lots of structures to reach there, so I will be waiting for any confirmations anyway to trade from there, right? Okay, so as expected, we took out the daily high, week high, but we couldn't capitalize because of the complex price action. The correction is very complex. Like we tried to get involved in sell here after we got this failed to take out the high lows. It was just a winning trade here, right? And then after we got the shift, there was a long opportunity right here, but it was just before CPI. So yeah, that wouldn't be a valid trade if it was just before the CPI, but it's a valid trade according to the trade plan that I have at the moment. So now after the break of structure, what do we expect? We expect a pullback. So with the right confirmation, sales can be interesting, but I want to see well developed range for sales like a clear IBUS and POI that was formed through sweep and then play, because after this such an impulsive move, it often takes time to pull back, and I don't want to be aggressive on this kind of sales because it can often be just a sales at a greater sweep to push the higher. So let's go on. That's still Thursday. Let's go on Friday. Right, okay, that's Thursday. Let's go on Friday morning. Yeah, price action is not the best. Anyway, this is the valid POI. If I want to be aggressive, that's liquidity ownership, and we can see that it led to the break of the structure. It's not the convincing like a pullback and then goes. It just like a one move. If it was like that, then it would be different, but it was just like it's just like part of the move, so it was not a clear pullback. That's why this structure is not that significant. But anyway, if we get some kind of shift, then playing long makes sense. I just need a confirmation first because I don't want to be aggressive on that tiny pullbacks. It's often does not hold much significance. Anyway, that was London session. It was right here. So what do we have? We have this POI formed through sweep of liquidity, and after we formed that, so this was part of the move. So okay, let me explain. After the break, we pull back again. We led to the break but did not convincingly close. It was just a weak break and Brazil's liquidity sweep, and now we pushed back again. That means now this high is weak because this low broke this high. That means this high is weak and overall trend is to the upside. So I'm really interested in looking for longs and be quick with my trade and run the highs. I don't think there will be any trade because of the impulsive nature of the price action. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, it just took out the highs anyway. Still valid for me to consider long from there. The idea still remains the same, but now it's not, we don't have liquidity transit, but it led to the convincing break. So coming up here, giving us fresh entry model, it's definitely worth it in my opinion. All right, let's see. We came back. Yeah, I don't want to take the lead from here, right? It's pretty far and it's not a clear lead. If it was right here, then I would have waited for this sweep and then put my entry, but now I'm waiting for fake break liquidation, which is a low that broke a high and then liquidated here and then get involved right here. Okay, let's see that pattern if it presents. We did break and we did pull back, sorry. So what happened was we broke this high, that was M15 chalk, and now we have not swept yet, so let's see the sweep of this low and then we can place the entry. Now this was our end of the session already, so I'm not really interested to trade, but yeah, it was a valid trade over here, but this was New York low. I would not even trade this one, but yeah, there was a valid trade here and then I would got tagged in here. Yeah, there was a trade, but yeah, this is New York low, not a valid according to my trading plan. That's Friday. Yeah, that's how it ended. No any trade, but we tried to get involved here. It didn't follow through. We didn't mitigate this during the session, otherwise it would be lovely to run the highs. And one trade here that ended up just a winner, and one loss before the CPI. And yeah, it's nice. We were a little bit complex here. It was not the best price action, but after we got that massive push up, yeah, it would be nice to capture this kind of move from the good area of value, but we didn't, unfortunately, so it's okay. Now coming week, we'll just do the quickly analysis from the daily. Now what do we have? We have swept major buy side liquidities, all buy side liquidities from here, so expecting a pullback, but we'll be only using that confluence once we got that kind of shift on the 4 hour 1 hour like proper shift, then probably I'll expect we're coming for a deeper pullback into this demand range. But until then, I will keep following the longs with the hyper-ordered PYs that is swept from the PY of that swept liquidity, and I want to capture this kind of moves, right? Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much guys for watching. I know these videos are very simple, but they are part of my process to stay accountable and grow as a trader. So if you have got any feedback or any suggestions, I would love to hear it in the comments. And yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers guys.